You know, a lot of people say that when someone's breaking into your house, this sound right here is going to deter them. Fuck that bullshit. This is going to scare them away for sure. That should be the first sound they hear. Hey guys, Crackshot47 here. So today we're going to look at shotguns. I have two. One is a pump action and the other is a semi-automatic. I figured we'd give this a look just to see how two mag-fed shotguns compare. Although it's not going to be a perfect comparison, as one is semi-auto and the other is pump. But it would give us a pretty good idea of kind of the benefits and the costs of both of these platforms. So the first shotgun is a Lynx 12. Semi-automatic shotgun. It is a copy of the Saiga-12, the Russian Saiga-12. But this one is made in China. It is made, give me 1 second, in Jianghua in Hubei province. So this particular factory where this gun was made actually produced the Type 56 assault rifles, which are copies of the AKM, AK-47 platform. So they're comparable in a way to the Russian example, because the Saigas were produced in the Izmash factory, along with the AKM. It was based off the AKM AK-47 platform. So this could be really seen as a Chinese version of the Saiga-12 shotgun in a lot of ways. So first we'll take a look at this. So, like what we have here real quick, this is a Mossberg 590M mag-fed shotgun. Basically the same without the ramp as the standard 500-590 platform. Except it takes magazines. This here is a 10-round magazine. We're probably only going to load it up with about 5 because this is, until I receive the other magazines, this is all I have right now. I just bought the shotgun, so I got about 5 rounds. So, nice, neat little comparison. So, getting back to the Lynx, it features a standard AK safety, but it's enhanced. So you can manipulate this with your firing finger. So, it's quite nice. AK-like trigger, very similar to the Saiga-12. It takes a Saiga-12-like stock, which is pretty much interchangeable with an AKM, AK-74 stock. It takes the same kind of grip as an AKM, AK-74, and it takes standard Saiga furniture, or I'm pretty sure it does. It takes standard Saiga chokes, from what I understand, but this is threaded underneath, so it can be outfitted with any muzzle brake that you so desire to put on there. So, what else do we have here? We have a Bulgarian style mount for pretty much anything you want to mount on the gun. Probably going to be a red dot for most people. Otherwise, it features pretty sparse sights, but they're actually not too bad. It's a V-notch with a standard bead in the front. So really, not too bad. And then you have basically a oversized but standard AK charging handle. And as you probably can't see in there, which is from my angle, it's basically a really big bolt to handle those 12-gauge shells. So one of the cool features this shotgun has, that the Saiga-12 also has, is a manual bolt hold open. So the AK platform does not have a bolt hold open feature, standard, but you can pull this back, and there's a little detent underneath the receiver, right by the trigger on the right-hand side. You hold that in, and it holds the bolt back. Now that makes it a lot easier when you're loading this shotgun, because it is notoriously difficult to load this shotgun on a loaded mag. So even the Saiga-12s, they feature this kind of system, so you could load a fully loaded up mag into the mag well here with basically a standard AK tab here for a mag release, without putting too much pressure on the bolt and then, having a lot of trouble getting it in there. So. And then if you want to put it forward, you just basically pull back on this, and it goes forward. Decent trigger pull, pretty much like an AK. Alright, so talk about the Mossberg now. So it doesn't have the ramp or the tube, but it's basically your standard fare. It's a pump action shotgun. It doesn't have the mag or the tube, but it does feature all the other components of a Mossberg 500-590 type shotgun. So you have the tang safety here on the back of the receiver, and you basically have, what would be very similar on a mag-fed gun in here. Basically, the cool thing about this is you can load one, and then you can shoot it home, and then you can load the magazine. So that's kind of a nice feature. But you can also do the same with this kind of gun here. So they're very comparable in a lot of ways, with the exception that this is a semi-automatic shotgun. Alright, so talk about barrel lengths here for a second. The Mossberg, it seems to be close to the same barrel length. I believe the Mossberg is just slightly shorter than this, probably 18.5 inches if I had to guess. This is a standard 19-inch barrel on the Lynx. So, without further ado, let's get shooting and let's see how well these guns stack up. Alright guys, first up we got the Mossberg 590M mag fed shotgun. One thing I did forget to mention, you do have the provision for adding a optic on this gun if you so choose. So it's pretty similar. Alright, so we're going to shoot some clay pigeons down there. We got 5. So we'll see how many we can hit. We got 5 rounds loaded up in here. Just standard bird shot. One second, folks. Alright. Good deal. Not too bad, although we are at close distance. Good deal. Well, it's 5 for 5, guys. Not a bad shot. I mean, we're only at like 15, probably 15 meters, 15 yards here, so really it's not too hard to hit these, but honestly, the bead's right on this gun. It's pretty nice. I like it. Alright guys, I'm going to be shooting the Lynx 12 here. We've got 5 clay pigeons down here. One thing I did want to mention though first, this is a semi-automatic shotgun, and since we're shooting bird shot, I'm not entirely sure how reliable this thing will be. That's one of the plus sides about having a pump action shotgun, is that you can pretty much load anything and fire it. This is a lot more finicky. It does have a adjustable gas system with 4 settings, and it is on the highest setting now, so we're going to see how well it shoots. So, AK style safety. Drop it. Alright, not too shabby. Now you see, that's what I'm talking about here. Sometimes it'll hang up, it doesn't have enough force pushing this back. So sometimes you got to help it along, which it's stuck. Okay, so we're going to remove the magazine. That might be in. So this is what I mean. It's harder to get this magazine in. You really got to muscle it in, and I'm not going to worry about that. So let's see if it's in here or not. Should fire without a mag. Yep. All right. Now pull it back. Make sure we're in. All right. Okay, we're good. Good. Okay. Good. Like I said, like the other shotgun, does not lock back. Obviously, that's a pump action, that's why. But this gun, just like an AK-47, will not lock back on the last round fired. That's why you have that little tab down here. Alright, so it looks like we had just one hang up with this gun. Probably due to its gas system. It's just the nature of the design. But really, we got 4 off without a hitch, so I'm pretty happy. Alright, let's get back to the tabletop. Alright guys, talk about some of the pros and cons as we saw today. Probably the biggest con with the semi-automatic shotguns, not all of them, but a lot of them, including the Saiga-12 and its derivatives, have problems cycling low-powered ammunition like birdshot or even like some slugs as well. So really, when you're talking about reliability, the Mossberg 500 is pretty much unrivaled. I mean, that along with the Remington 870, they're pretty much the Glock of guns. I mean, they're not only are there so many aftermarket accessories for the 870, but also the reliability is just there. I mean, there's a reason why the military adopted the 870 and the Mossberg 500. I mean, when I was in the Navy, I trained on a 500 in boot camp, you know, and I have to say it's probably my favorite of the pump action shotguns, just my personal opinion. But as we're going to demonstrate here kind of to close out the video, there is a notable advantage to having a semi-automatic rifle or a semi-automatic shotgun, excuse me, when it comes to actually getting rounds on target quickly. Now, quick doesn't equal accurate. So really with a pump action, I mean, you really have to get yourself back on target before you shoot. With one of these, I mean, unless you're cognizant, you know, unless you're not just like pulling the trigger and just, you know, slap happy and just trying to shoot, then yeah, I mean, you could shoot just as accurately with both of these, but there's kind of like a lag time here where you can kind of get back on target. Like it's just kind of like a nice split between shooting and racking that slide. So it's kind of nice in that way. It gets you to consciously get back on target. But I have to say, when it comes to getting shots on target, I mean, you're obviously going to have a benefit with the semi-automatic. That said, I really do like the Mossberg. I don't know which one's better. Honestly, I mean, I'm a sucker for AKs. I mean, that's the name. It's Crackshot 47, right? So if I had to say which one of these is my favorite, it's going to be the Lynx, because I love AKs. But I really do love the Mossberg 590M. I think it is definitely, I don't want to say it's an improvement over the tube-fed derivative, but there are a lot of advantages to it. I mean, you do have a magazine that you can easily swap out. You don't have to worry about just loading one at a time. And you can still get one in the chamber, load up a full mag, so it's kind of nice. Same thing applies to this gun. I think they're both great platforms. Whichever one you're familiar with, I think that's probably the best one for you. I mean, a lot of people in the United States go for the Mossberg because that's what they know. And it is a fantastic platform. I highly recommend Mossbergs. It's personally my favorite pump-action shotgun. I have to say the Saiga family is my favorite of the semi-automatic variety. Whether you're talking about Vepers, Saigas, the Lynx here, I love these shotguns. So really, you can't go wrong with either one. I do want to talk about the Lynx 12 really quick. So this gun, like I said, is brand new. This is the first time I've shot it. So if you believe in break-in periods, I think this gun really hasn't been broken in yet. I mean, it's really just this was the first mag I really put through this gun. It's what you just saw in the video. So it still probably has a little bit of quirks to work out. I mean, plus this thing is, it has an adjustable gas system on this gun. However, like I said, semi-automatic shotguns have a hard time feeding low-powered ammunition. Now, right now it is on the highest setting. Let me check really quick. Yes, it is on the highest setting. So we only really had one hang-up when we were shooting bird shots, so it might just be that the gun needs broken in, or it could be just the fact of the design. I'm not really sure, but overall, it performed to my satisfaction. I think the gun performed really well. We had that with just one hang-up. It could have been the ammunition as well. So it could be a lot of things. To be honest, though, I think semi-automatic shotguns are very reliable. I'm not going to say they're just as reliable as pumps. I think they can be if they're tuned properly, but they're both fantastic shooters. So if you do pick up one of these Lynx 12s, or you pick up any of the Saigas or the Vepers, just keep in mind that they're probably going to be a little bit finicky with your ammunition, especially if you're using either non-lethal or something that's kind of low-powered. Alright guys, we're just going to try out some stuff here, just to see how fast we can get shots down range. Now we're only going to fire 2 shots because the neighbors, last time when I was rapid firing my AK, they got kind of pissed off at me, so I'm just going to put 2 rounds down so they can't bitch and moan. So let's see. I just want to see if it's a little bit faster with the semi-auto versus the pump action, or vice versa. So let's just see real quick. Oh, phone call. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put that on mute, guys. All right. Let's get shooting. All right. About half a second, probably. We're going to tally it up at the end of the video, like when we're editing, so we'll see how much time actually transpired. But felt like to me about maybe half a second. So really, not that bad. I mean, I was able to get the bead back where I was shooting it roughly in a pretty quick manner. So really, I don't think you're really going to be at a disadvantage with a pump-action shotgun. Really. All right, guys. Next up, we got the Lynx 12 we're going to be shooting. So this one, for me at least, probably has a little bit better length of pull, just because shorter stock, and I can get my hand a little bit back a little bit more than I can on that shotgun. So we'll give it a try here. One thing I do want to mention about this, it is substantially easier to load the 590 with a closed bolt. So it's pretty easy to load this one. You can do the same with this because you get a little bit of leeway in the mag, so it's not too difficult to do, especially with these 5-round mags, although you have to overcome some resistance to get it in there. So it's more optimal. Okay, yeah. So it's more optimal, I think, to do as the Russians intended. Take it off safe, pull this back, then you engage this, and then Makes it a lot easier to get that mag in, and when you're ready to shoot, it's ready. Gun's unsafe. We're going to get ready to shoot here. Fitting to light it up, as Larry Vickers says, and we're going to go down range again. We're going to shoot 5 more of those clay pigeons we got set up down there. So about 15 yards away, it'll be a lot of fun. Test out how this shoots versus the other one. All right, guys, you see here we got the bolt open, so that's something that's going to slow down the gun a little bit. But good thing is, just pull it tight like that, pull it back pretty quick, and it goes. So we'll get 2 shots on target here. Okay. You guys notice this thing shoots faster than the pump, but is it necessarily more accurate? I don't know. I think I hit about the same spot. I'd say they're pretty comparable. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. It just depends on what you're looking for. If you like getting fast follow-up shots, I highly recommend this gun. Honestly, the recoil is not bad at all on this, and I just love it, man. If you like AKs, get one of these, man. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. You guys take care, stay safe, don't get sick, don't get clubbed over the head and dragged into the street and get your ass beat. Crackshot 47 out.